No Man's Sky Orbital just released today, a few days after the emoji dropped from Sean Murray, and there seems to be quite some interesting new additions to the game that people have been asking for or have been expecting for quite some time. For example, a total overhaul of the space station visuals and also actually being able to customize your ship. So let's jump in and let's see what we can find. Now, as you can see, the UI has already changed from the game itself. We have the news and patch notes actually right here in the bottom, which is going to be what we just saw. We have the options, which we saw as well. They used to be down here. Then we have our multiplayer and our regular play, where we can then, of course, jump into our world. And we have the join friends, which is very similar as we had before. So there's no changes actually to the lower menus. If you, however, go to the new game, you will see that the UI has been refreshed there as well. Not that much, but it looks just a little bit cleaner. So let's jump into an existing world. I'm going to use my creative save. That's going to make it much easier to just go and find everything we need. Let's see what this update is about. Now, the size of the update was 8.35 gigabytes on the Steam version, and I think it was about 9.5 on the PlayStation version. I'm not entirely sure if it has been released on Xbox yet. Alright, we start in the Anomaly, so let's see what is new here. So there's nothing new about the expedition so far. We have no new rewards or anything, so there's no hint on what is coming for an expedition. And it could be very easily no expedition at all included with this update, which is really fine by me. If you go to the back and check out the technology merchants, you will notice that none of them have anything new to add for you, except of course the construction station, which will have a whole new selection of building parts for you. Purely decorative, but they will be adding some really nice life to your bases if you're using them. And I will be sharing them how they look at the end of this video as well. One of the main features of this update, of course, are the new space stations, and I'm sure a lot of you are already very eager to go and check them out and how they look. There is a lot to be discovered in this place, and I want to go over them very quickly. So each station should be procedural and the atmosphere is stunning. I have to say they did a really good job in creating these space stations and giving a really good vibe to them. I'm really enjoying the atmosphere that is in this place. So many of the items that you see in the space station will also be available to build for you once you pick up that decoration pack and the Anomaly. Now you will also see this sign here. This is something you will be able to build, but it also shows you who is the dominant life form, and here we have the Gek. Of course, you will find all the traders and merchants in the space station that you found before. You will have to look a little bit where they are, but each of them are still there, with of course some upgrades here and there to their mechanic. I do like they also put the teleportation module and the trading module in front of each other, so it's very easy to just quickly trade whatever you want to do and jump back to your freighter or whatever the plan is. With the new space stations also comes ship customization possibilities, which can be done in the back of the space station. And I will cover it in a second once we're done with the tour, and also how to collect some building parts before we do the customization ourselves. Another addition to the space station is that you now can swap your ships in the space station without having to fly out to the Anomaly or to a planet. And I think this is also just done especially because it makes it much easier to scrap and analyze your ships for parts. Another thing I've noticed is that there are now two multi-tools in the space station on both sides of the terminal. They are the same multi-tool, so there is no difference, but you can collect one and the other one will be still there. While this probably will need some more testing, I assume you will be able to collect one multi-tool on one side, then do the switch with the planet and saving, and then take another type of multi-tool from the other multi-tool box. The space station core, of course, has been updated as well with a completely different look and also has a procedural generation. I didn't have an override code with me to test it, but I'm assuming this is probably still non-functional. At the Starship Merchant, you will now be able to buy an extra module, which is going to be used for crafting or assembling your customized ships, which is named the Reactor. And this is what is going to control the class of your ship. By the way, you can also notice that there are discounts, if you can see that, and these are linked to your standing. So the higher your standing is with a certain faction, the more discount you will have on the purchase. So as far as I can see, each station I visited so far, the interior is procedural as well. And I'm assuming it might still be a little bit linked to who is controlling the system. Now, talking about customizable ships, it is not possible to customize an existing ship you have at hand. You can only craft ships. That means you will have to take ships apart, decide which of the blocks you want to take off and use, for then later to assemble a ship at the assembler. There you will need wings, a nose, an engine, and a core. Apart from explorers, where you can choose between the left and the right wing. The only ships that can be assembled so far are the hauler, the explorer, and the fighter. For the moment, there are no shuttles, exotics, or any other of the ships available to be customized. Once you have completed assembling your ship, you will be able to customize the color. Take note that there are 3 color layers, but also can choose between metallic or normal. If you choose the metallic color, you will be able to give it a little bit more of a darker color, which looks pretty much black. While in panel number 1, you won't have that option. Finally, as promised, here are all the building blocks that have been added as a decoration pack to No Man's Sky. A lot of them are really cool to be used, moving signs, animated signs, better displays, and so on. Many of them you will recognize from the space stations, for example, the displays for the races, a whole bunch of displays added, and also really nice the billboards that were added as well, which are like adverts, which really cool. I think a lot of people are gonna love this for their city builds. We also have these frame lights, which is cool, I think, for cities as well. We have more lights right here. Then we have a few more plinth lights, pillar lights, I placed it on the wrong side, like a little terrarium, some plants, some data servers, and another cabinet, which is also wrongly placed. Then we also had this holographic table, which shows a holographic area, but it doesn't make any difference where you are. This is always the same. Then we have another data server room. And we have these 2 welding arms as well, which seem to be able to place on the floor or on the ceiling. We'll have to play around with that. This is a pretty beefy update. I have walked through this for like an hour, so I might have missed quite a lot of things. I will be streaming this, of course, on the regular Thursday stream for a while. If you want to come and check me out, you can do that. And for the moment, I will say to you goodbye and see you next time. Beeblebum out.